tell us about your GTA 5 audition?
When DJ Pooh called me to come for my first audition, I didn't want to go because I was doing something else in the streets. And DJ Pooh called me 2, 3 more times, like, man, please just come through, man. I just want you to come try out for it, which he did with numerous things, not just this. But I finally went and did it. It really wasn't like nothing exciting for me to do. But when I went in there, I just did what I had to do. I just was genuinely me. I left. Had no mind that they were going to call me back for a second time to come back for a second audition. When I went back for the second audition, I saw Slink. I saw him. I saw a few people. I saw some gang members. I saw a few actors. I saw just a few people that was auditioning. I saw I don't know if you know this rapper named Problem. He was there.
But they are there to casting for Franklin or for another characters?
No, they were casting for Franklin and Lamar.
All right.
And so all of us were fighting for this position, but they were saying another name.
Okay.
They said it was another name. Deshaun.
Can you remember it?
One of them name was Deshaun. Deshaun, and I can't remember the other name. And they told us the video game was called Paradise.
Oh, it's a different codiname from Nads.
Yeah, it wasn't.
His codiname is Rush.
Yeah, and there it was Rush. So it wasn't GTA 5. So
that's insane, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, I ended up getting a phone call after like maybe a few days after the second audition, and all I remember, it was a British guy on the phone saying, hey, we picked you to come in and work with us. How would you like to come to New York and work with Rockstar for a couple years? And I said, what the fuck? A couple years? So I'm like, what the fuck? What am I gonna be doing for a couple years with them? Because I always thought that doing these video games, I didn't know anything about motion capture, putting a suit on, green screen, all of that stuff. I always thought that you sit in a booth with headphones on, you know what I'm saying? And
the camera.
You just reading through the camera, you know what I'm saying? You're reading through a camera. So I never thought that I would put a suit on. So when I got finally to New York to do this stuff, I was kind of a fat dude, man. I was a little bit thicker. So when they like go in there and put this suit on because you finna start working, I was like, what you mean suit? So they walked me in this room and I seen these scuba diving looking suits, real tight. I like, wait a minute, man, what the fuck? So I put it on and I was just feeling uncomfortable because I didn't like my shape. And when they walk you out on the floor, it's like you're in a big old warehouse and you got all these people standing around and all these cameras and lights, and then the focus is on you. So you just feeling like all your imperfections in your body is being visualized and
to
everyone. So you're very uncomfortable, and it took me a while to get comfortable with it. I actually tried to quit like maybe twice. I tried to just give up. My mind was just, I quit. I don't want to do this shit.
Really?
You gotta remember, we still didn't know this was Grand Theft Auto.
You don't know?
We still don't know. I'm thinking, there's some bullshit called Paradise. Fuck this, man. I quit. Take this shit off. I want to go home. Because I'm thinking Paradise. Like, what the fuck is Paradise?
And who convinced you that to return to make the game?
To be honest, the top director up at Rockstar that directs all the stuff from Red Dead to GTAs to everything, bro. He sat me down and he talked to me and told me, you really want to do this. You really want to do this. So I remember the next day after I wanted to quit, it was breakfast time. We come to work and come in the morning, and one of the owners, which is Dan Hauser, he come. And he
to the audition? To record it?
To the set. Yeah, he come and he sat down with me and he said, man, he was pretty cocky though. He was like, you gonna do this, like in a more of a sense, it was like, you gonna get your ass in there and you gonna work.
Sam Hauser?
Like, yeah, Dan. And I was like, because you got Sam and you got Dan.
Yeah.
And I was pretty much like, man, fuck you, man. I'm not going up in this shit. Take this shit off. But
Oh my God.
the director came in and he called me in his office and he talked to me and he told me, he said, trust me, man. Because see, they knew it was GTA 5 and they
Right.
knew how big this was gonna be.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, man. He said, you will want to do this. Trust me. You don't want to turn your back on this, man. So I just said, fuck it, I'll stay, man. But it took me a while to get used to it, to be comfortable with it, you know? Like
Right.
when I start seeing some of the other people, like the people that were working on set, and I think the director was doing this because I was complaining about everybody staring at me, make them wear the shit. I want to see some of them people that got fucked up shapes that's working, staring at me. And he started making them put the suit on too. And like playing extra pairs, just standing around. So I started looking at them like, oh, your body look fucked up too. So I started
I'm
getting
okay.
yeah, I'm okay. It ain't just me. So, but yeah, I'm glad I stayed, man. I'm so thankful I stayed because my life has changed tremendously, man. You know, I mean, I'm in a much better space in life, man. Much better, man.
But GTA 5 wasn't your first game. You appears
No,
on GTA San Andreas 2, like a Grove Street member, and
yeah,
you don't have any tip, any clue that you are recording GTA at this point?
nah. Still don't know, bro, because they told us paradise, you know. And
Okay.
you got to remember, I didn't see no well-known faces there. I didn't see like a Melee back on the set. I didn't see a Snoop Dogg, or I didn't see a well-known name. I only saw me, Lamar, the Slink, Ned, Steven. So my mind wasn't thinking GTA still.
Okay.
But when it finally came out that we found out it was GTA, when it leaked out,
So,
they couldn't get rid of me.
and now you are the main leader of GTA, né? And what's the main difference between when you record a GTA San Andreas, like a NPC or a secondary character, and now in GTA 5 that you are one of the main character? What is the
Um,
the difference?
San Andreas, I just sat in a booth.
All right.
I just went in a booth and screamed out a bunch of shit in a mic. You know, they just had a mic sitting there. It was just, I was yeah. Say this, yeah, motherfucker, get on the ground. You know, all that type of shit. But GTA 5, man, you know, I had a script. I had pages and stacks of script, and wearing the outfit. It was night and day. It was night and day. So I knew it was something serious. You know what I'm saying? So
And how was it when you realize that you are now on GTA 5, you are one of the main protagonists? How long you guys take to find out that you would be in a new GTA since you begin the recorders?
I want to say close to about a year.
A year?
Yeah, I think it took about a whole year that everything just kept a secret. It took about a year, man. Yeah.
So Rockstar really good with secrets, right?
Hell yeah. Shit, yeah. Hell yeah. They real good with it. They real good with it, man. So, you know, once we found out, to be honest, I think if they tell people what they're doing in the beginning, you get better work out of people.
Okay.
Because people would come in like, I got to nail this shit. I got to work hard. I got to do this right here. This is GTA 5. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody
But
wants to be in a GTA game, right?
yeah, so but if you telling them it's something else, then they effort is not as strong as it would be. Because once they told us it was GTA 5, man, I started acting so good, and I was on set early, I was leaving late. You know, I was happy, and because now I had a secret
Yeah.
that I would be around people and I could not tell them. You know, I could come back home and people be like, "Where you been?" Oh man, I've been at work, man. I work on a boat. I went to work on the construction because now I got a secret, you know,
Yeah.
and it's a good secret. It's a real good secret.